Junjie Lin Tea Garden, smaller green leafhopper honey flavour black tea.
It was so delicate in flavour, but it had lots and lots of layers. You could taste kind of sweet, honeyed, ripe apricot fruit.
I thought it was absolutely wonderful, bursting with red berry fruit. There's a little bit of smokiness, like a far-off bonfire, and then, lovely length as well. Just absolutely delicious.
Melicreta Leontarakis, Authentico Cretan Thyme Honey.
I honestly think that was the best honey I've ever tasted. It was light and delicate and not too sweet. Just absolutely delicious.
César Nieto, Hannan Meats, 100% Iberico, DOP Hijuelo.
It was sort of perfect. It had immense depth of flavour. It had that wonderful glossiness without being fatty. It had just length that kept going and going and going. Not a hint of rancidity. It was sweet, it was savoury, it was nutty, it was meaty, it was porky, and it was a delight.
Hannan Meats, Porchetta.
I absolutely loved it. The crackling, oh my gosh, so consistent, beautifully golden. The pork, because of the dry aging, it got this really unctuous flavour, and the spices just balanced the fattiness. It was so, so good. I want more, please, more.
Blackthorn Salt, Scottish sea salt flakes.
It was delicate, melted on the tongue, and absolutely delicious.
Flavour-wise, you can taste the intensity of the sea. It's strong, it's bold, at the same time has a gentleness at the end that's delicious.
Black Mountains Smokery, smoked duck breast.
Well, I thought it was such a good example of traditional smoking. So quite often with smoked food, it can be very acidic or overpowering, and you just completely lose the flavour of the meat. Whereas the meat really shone, it had a subtle smokiness, and the cure was absolutely exceptional that created this really lovely velvet melt-in-the-mouth texture.
Lyburn Farmhouse Cheesemakers, Stony Cross.
It's got a beautiful texture, it's nutty, but kind of smooth, and it's just really easy to eat, and I could get through a whole 3 kilo of that quite simply.
The kind of grassy notes coming through, but there's also a bit of acidity, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Could eat a lot more of it.
Isigny Sainte-Mére, crème fraîche de Isigny, AOP 40%.
I thought that was texturally stunning. It's very cream-like, really thick and rich, but it didn't feel overwhelming or overpowering.
All I could think about was just like a almond and apricot tart or something with that beside it, and it would just cut it perfectly. Loved it.
Louisa's honey, Bosco honey.
I thought this honey was super malty, really, really strong in flavour. I would actually really love to cook with this, maybe have it in a sticky toffee pudding. I think it could be quite delicious.
Cashel Irish Farmhouse Cheesemakers, Cashel Blue.
This cheese was just gorgeous. It had a really wonderful buttercup yellow flavour. It absolutely collapsed in my mouth as I ate it. It was so creamy and delicious.
I thought it was lovely. I just needed bread and to eat the whole thing. Spread it and eat it.
It's soft, buttery, and the level of saltiness of it just right, just perfect.